Hey there, I'm Jason Fried, and today I want to walk you through a very specific feature in Basecamp 3 and explain why it's there. Now, some background. Whenever I look at a product or use someone else's product, I'm always curious about why things are the way they are. What decisions were made in order for this thing to work this specific way? Why is this feature in the product? Why is this feature not only in it, but why is it in this certain position or certain place in the product? Why does it work this way? Why is it called this thing? How does it interact with the other features? Why is it on this particular screen? Why isn't it accessible everywhere but only accessible sometimes? Things like that. I love going through a product and thinking to myself, like, why? Why is it like this? And so I thought it'd be fun to walk through a specific feature in Basecamp 3 and trace it back to the origin of why. Why is this in the product itself? So let's do that. Let me show you the feature first, and then we'll trace it backwards. So if you go and do a search for something in Basecamp, I will search for the word publisher. Here we go. Here's some results, right? Variety of different results. What you'll see is if you hover over any one of these results, you're going to see this little thing in the right-hand corner. It says there's a little link icon that says copy, okay? And what that does is it copies a link to that result to your clipboard. This feature here in search results is what I want to talk about today. Why is this here? What is it for? So let me clear this out and step back somewhere else. So at Basecamp, team leads every few months write up what we call a heartbeat. And a heartbeat goes out to the whole company, and it's a long form summary of what their team has been working on. So we post to the Basecamp HQ, which is our headquarters inside Basecamp for our company. This is sort of like our intranet, if you want to think about it in those terms. Everything that's related to the company that's not related to a specific project typically is posted here. So I'm going to go to the message board here. We've called it topics. And I'm going to go and just show the heartbeats. So these are the heartbeats. So for example, Kristen just posted a heartbeat yesterday about the support team. Ryan's been talking about iOS interviews. Rosa talked about some SIP stuff, which is security, infrastructure, and performance, etc. I'm going to jump down to a heartbeat written back in March by Sam. Now, if you look at Sam's heartbeat here, you're going to see that, by the way, this is all the stuff that his team had been working on. And again, this is sent out to the whole company, so everybody has a sense of what a specific team has been doing. You're going to see there's a lot of links in this particular heartbeat. In fact, if you were to scroll through the whole thing and count them up, you'd probably see a couple dozen, right? And some of these links link out to external things like a GitHub repo or an article on the web or some other website. But oftentimes people, when they write up their heartbeats, are referencing other posts that are already posted in Basecamp. So it could be a message post, it could be a comment somewhere, it could be a to-do item, a document, whatever it might be. And prior to adding this feature, this little link feature in the Find menu, in order to get a link to something in Basecamp, you'd either have to, like if you're writing something up and you wanted to reference something in Basecamp, you'd either have to open another tab if you had a tabbed browser and go find that thing, go to the search thing, go find the thing, go copy the URL, close that tab, go back to this tab where you're writing the thing, paste in the tab or paste in the link and have the link. Or if you didn't use a tab browser or didn't like tabs, you'd open a separate browser window. Or as you're writing your draft, you might save the draft and go find the thing you're looking for, copy the URL, come back, edit the draft, paste it in. You might do that a number of times. It was kind of a unwieldy situation. It was kind of a hassle, frankly. And we've been sort of enduring it for a while, but we figured at some point this just sucks. It sucks to have to reference stuff internally and have it be so difficult to do that. So we started thinking about how could we make it easier to reference things. So for example, like I'm just going to jump down to this link right here, active text. So if I was to click this link, this is going to take me to another post within Basecamp. Okay, and so in this case, Sam wanted to reference this particular link. How would he have done that? Like I said, he'd go to the tab, or he'd open another window, or he'd save the draft and go and find it. We're like, this sucks. So what are we going to do? So we thought about a variety of different ways we could handle this. One solution was you could perhaps hit a keyboard command, like you can @mention somebody by hitting the @ symbol and type someone's name. We have that in Basecamp. You'll see these are @mentions here, right? Familiar with this with most tools these days. And you initiate that by hitting @ and then typing someone's name and autocompletes, and then it references them. So we could do something else where you could perhaps hit another key like the pound key or the ampersand or percent or something like that, and sort of do a live search for the title of something perhaps, and then embed that in place. And we kind of looked at that and drew it up and sort of mocked it up a little bit, and it felt really fussy. Sometimes you don't exactly know what it's called that you're looking for. You know what's in it perhaps. So is it a full text search in a small amount of space? What if you don't know exactly what it was called, but you know who wrote it? That mechanism didn't really work very well. We also thought about, like, what if we had a list of links? Whenever you're writing a new message, there'd be sort of like a sidebar showing all the different links that have been posted recently, maybe the last 100 or the last 50 links that or 50 things that you've created that you might want to reference. And this kind of idea sounds good in theory, but really practically the last 50 is just an abstract number. It's like, why 50? Why not 100? Why not an unlimited amount? And is that really what you want, is to always see a long list of links? What if you're writing something up and you don't need to reference anything? Now you've got this long list of links kind of in your face, in your way. Played with a few other ideas too. And ultimately what we came up with was, we were thinking about redesigning the find or search in Basecamp anyway. Previous to this update, search was its own dedicated screen. So if you wanted to search for something, you'd have to go to the search screen separately, which means you'd have to leave what you're working on, go to the search screen, get your results, look at something, and then come back. So we decided that since we were going to redo search anyway to make it search in place, so for example, if I click find here, it pulls down the search without me having to leave what I'm working on, which of course could be anything. I could be writing a document, writing a message in chat, in instant message pings with somebody, whatever I'm looking at. Now I don't have to leave. We thought, well, this could be a good time actually to solve this other problem too. So not only could we improve find and search by allowing you to do it without having to leave where you are, but now perhaps we can use the search mechanism to help you find what you wanted to reference when you're writing something, and then make it really easy to grab a link to that thing without ever having to leave your place. So that's what we ended up doing here. So the reason that little tiny copy link feature is in search results is because we were writing long posts and we needed to reference things while we were working on them. And it turned out that find was the right place to do that. So if Sam's writing this message and he's got all this other stuff in here, and then he wants to reference this post called active text, all he'd have to do would be go up to find and type active text. Now, he's going to get a lot of results back, and a lot of this stuff, he's going to find out this is not actually what I wanted. So one of the nice things about find is you can say just find messages and by Sam Stevenson called active text, and there it is. There's the message, right? So I could click that message and look at it, but Sam had written it, so he would have known that was the one. All he has to do now is grab the text or grab the link by clicking that, clicking away, and then when he's editing his post, writing up his post, he can just paste that in. So for example, if I was to do that and paste in that link, I'm just going to paste the link. Basecamp's going to automatically reformat that link because it's a Basecamp link and just pull in the name of the thing. And of course, I could just shorten it if I want as well. And now that thing would be linked up without me ever having to go somewhere else in order to grab a link to something I want to reference. So that little feature, this little thing up here, is here to serve this thing right here, to be able to do that without having to leave the document as you're writing it up. So hope that was interesting. I love those kind of stories, like why is this here and why was it put here and why does it work this way and what's it for? And hopefully I'll be able to trace some other things back over time. And in fact, if anyone is curious about why something is the way it is or why something isn't a place where it is or why something isn't here but it's over there, just post a note in the YouTube comments and perhaps I'll do a quick video on that as well. So anyway, hope this was cool, and thanks again for watching.